But what I have heard is today's latest news. Shout out to Ariel Smoke with the super chat. What I have heard is that the mighty Mickey, King Mickey and Sora, are planning an extraction shooter reportedly in development at Epic Games. And depending on who you are, you might feel, shout out to Bacon and Beans with the $20 super chat. He said he got racks on him. I appreciate it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fortnite developer Epic Games is reportedly working on a new extraction shooter featuring Disney characters that is set to launch later this year. Now, before I read any further, I think the most fascinating thing about this story is who keeps green lighting all of these fucking extraction shooters? Because in my humble opinion, I feel like there's enough data to present here to say that making an extraction shooter is very risky. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Escape from Tarkov was that big of a success. Escape from Tarkov has a very hardcore niche audience, but that is not a mainstream game that sold a gazillion copies. Now, Arc Raiders is the anomaly. That's the one that broke out. But even, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, the Arc Raiders community is switching up. A lot of the streamers, the big streamers, they're quitting the game. I've seen the numbers have been in half. So Arc Raiders is an anomaly, but then you got Marathon. And to be fair, Marathon's a good game, but it didn't catch on. So if we look at the three big extraction shooters that we're aware of, 2 out of the 3 just kind of have their niche audience, and then there's one. I don't feel like it's like a genre that's proved itself to have staying power. Yo, shout out to JFE with the big $50 super chat. Holy smokes. But let's keep reading on. Let's see what Disney's talking about. A Bloomberg report states that the currently unnamed spinoff is expected to launch November 2026. So later this year, this holiday season. Goddamn. Shout out to Bacon the Beans with the 5 gifted subs on YouTube. Appreciate you. It, as well as 2 other unnamed titles. So they got 3 games they're working on. It's said to be the result of a $1.5 billion investment Disney has made into the gaming giant back in 2024. According to the site's sources, the mysterious extraction experience is said to be a shooting game, not unlike Embark Studios' Arc Raiders, which launched to impressive player counts and wound up on massive success for the developer late last year. Those familiar with the Disney game say some at Epic are optimistic that the project will stick the landing at launch, though internal reviews have expressed concern about unoriginal game mechanics. Translation. Shout out to Lack with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Translation. The people at Disney are confident if they just make a Disney extraction shooter, it's going to make a lot of money. But the developers making the game, they say the game's all right, but it's not anything special, pushing any boundaries. I would not be surprised if this is like a Star Wars extraction shooter as well. Like you play as like stormtroopers or some shit like that. Because I can't see like Mickey Mouse in the gang in an extraction shooter. I feel like it's probably going to be Star Wars. Like Star Wars Battlefront Extraction. And I feel like that would piss a lot of people off. Once you extract, you got to go back in as Obi-Wan. Disney has plenty of its characters cross over to the main Fortnite experience in the year since its investment was announced, with the 2 recent examples being Buzz Lightyear and Emperor Zurg joining in its enormous roster of skins. Late last month, Epic, they're just yapping about what skins. It's unclear which characters from Disney's wide catalog of IP it plans to let loose in a new extraction shooter from Epic. Further details on the 2 entertainment companies' continued partnership has been even murkier, as Bloomberg reports the plans is to eventually see at least a 2nd and 3rd game materialize in the future. Damn, so they just assuming they're gonna be successful. There's no word on what shape each will take, as the site's sources paint a picture of average internal reviews for game number 2, while resources for game 3 have been reallocated to others. they can just release Battlefront 3. That's what I'm saying. Bloomberg reports Disney was disappointed with the game developers' progress on other projects, which drove the decision to shift resources around. I mean, what studio is making 3 games at once? This is a red flag in itself. I don't know of any major studio that's making 3 fucking video games at once and doing it efficiently. Most major dev studios are working on one game and then maybe they have another one in pre-production, like an idea on a whiteboard with some artwork that says, hey, when we're done with this game, we're gonna go to this one. But 3 games? This already says to me Disney doesn't understand how the business works. These games are hard to make, they're expensive, long man hours, you're doing too much, man. Which drove the decision to Epic Senior Director of Global Communications, Liz Markman, told the site its reporting is not reflective of the ambitions of the Disney collaboration, adding, we are building new games and entertainment universes of Disney's experiences. Epic's timelines are aggressive and always been. We've heavily moved developers onto projects with releases approaching, while smaller prototype teams are working on further off projects. A representative for Disney also provided the site with a statement saying that it remains focused on our long-term collaboration with Epic, which continues to have a strong momentum, and our work to build a transformational game and entertainment universe remains unchanged. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The fact that the developers are low-key saying that they don't know about it because the gameplay mechanics are not original, that's a red flag. But I don't think Disney cares. Disney doesn't know anything about video games. They just want to get their hand in the pie. They see how much money it makes. They see what Arc Raider is doing, and they say, just do that. Do the Arc Raiders with Willie Steamboat and Sora and Sephiroth and Donald and Goofy and Kim Possible. And I'm here to let you know right now, guys. Let's make a new prediction, man. If these niggas come out with Arc Raiders featuring Kim Possible and Mickey Mouse, yo, pack that shit up, nigga. We're not playing that game, bro. I'm good off that. First of all, what the fuck are you even extracting? Are we gonna extract Disney dollars from the kingdom? What the fuck are we extracting? The thing about extraction shooters is they're supposed to be like a gritty take on realistic warfare. We're gonna extract Tinkerbell dust? Like, what are we fucking talking about here? The only way I can see this working, because I'm not gonna write it off completely, is it has to be a Star Wars game. It has to be like a grimy Star Wars game where you play as stormtroopers and you have to extract out of like, I don't know, fucking areas the Empire's occupying that's maybe a little rough around the edges. But if it's Disney in terms of fucking Mickey Mouse, pack it up. No, thank you, bruh. Extractions make sense in a post-apocalyptic setting, pretty much. And even still, if they take the Star Wars route, they're gonna face an uphill battle because people are gonna be pissed that it's not Battlefront 3. And then you're gonna have a sector of Twitter just making sure this game fails because it's not Battlefront 3. You're not trying to camp with Goofy? Look, we got some loot, guys. Nah, I'm good off that goofy ass shit. We extracting hot diggity dogs. We're extracting the Paw Patrol. They're in trouble. Hot dog. Man, get that shit the fuck out my face. In other news, Pete Hines says he left Bethesda because he didn't want to watch it being damaged and abused. Oh shit. For an awful lot of years, Pete Hines was the face of Bethesda Softworks, for Games Journalist first as the company's marketing and PR guy, and later the public at large when Bethesda started holding its own standalone showcases at E3. In terms of public awareness, he was pretty much the number 2 guy behind Todd Howard. He was at the company for nearly a quarter century and made enough of an impact that when he left, it was a pretty big deal. A few years down the road from his departure, Hines sat down for an interview with this fireside chat gaming podcast covering a range of topics from his early days at Bethesda. He first credits at the studio listed on Moby Games, including writing the manuals for Sea Dogs, PBA, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about this. He also shared some thoughts on his final months at Bethesda and what prompted him to leave. Something he says he didn't particularly want to do. And while he doesn't speak the name Microsoft, it's not difficult to understand what the fuck he's talking about. I was staying there because this place still needed me, Hines said. It just hit a point of, yes, it needs me, and I'm powerless to do what I think needs to be done to run the place properly, to protect these people, to maintain what we worked so hard to create, which is an incredibly efficient, well-run video game developer and publisher. And when I was unable to do that, what I thought my job should involve in continuing to have that place be, you know, if not the most efficient publisher in the gaming industry, it was way the fuck up there. That was a weird way of saying it. And when I couldn't protect it and I saw how it was getting damaged and broken apart and frankly mistreated, abused, whatever word you want to use, I said, I'm not going to sit here and watch this happen right in front of me. So of course, he's talking about Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda in 2020. And the time was one of the biggest blockbuster game acquisitions of all time. So basically, without saying it, he's saying Microsoft came in and tried to do too much. They didn't let Bethesda be Bethesda. Which is interesting because he said that his goal, his job was to protect people and their image and make sure nobody's going crazy. But where was that when you guys were releasing broken video games and your fans had to fix every single one of them with mod support? To the point where when the Fallout TV show came out, Todd Howard was surprised it got a 9 out of 10. Really? I get what he's saying from like a structural standpoint with Microsoft maybe, you know, doing too much within the studio, but I could argue you weren't really doing that much in terms of protecting your image because Starfield wasn't what it needed to be. That new Starfield DLC that dropped this week is way too inspired by a popular mod. Say it ain't so. Makes me wonder, are we going to see other people from Microsoft-owned studios start stepping down as well because they feel like Microsoft is overreaching in terms of the creative process and not treating employees correctly? That's always the downside of selling out to like a major corporation. You give away control. And the thing about these major corporations is they don't care about nothing but their bottom dollar. If you are not bringing in the money that they want, they're gonna let you know. So shout out to him for getting out early. It makes me wonder if he feels like he sees the ship sinking and that's why he left. Because Starfield was not what it needed to be. Although, I don't know. Bethesda will be all right. PS5 niggas love Starfield. I don't know why. But some interesting conversation nonetheless. Even when you make the money, they'll ask you. Nah, facts. They'll need to cut the fat off to make sure they can make extra profits. Starfield is the game of the generation, and what universe? In my opinion, the really sad thing is when these companies acquire these companies, why do they choose to interfere? It's already profitable. They just need to be the money man, pretty much. But it could be a situation where it's a cultural thing, right? They have different ideologies of what's profitable. It could be a situation where in Bethesda mind, 5 to 10% is a good profit. But for Microsoft, what we read, it was 30%. They want 30, 40, 50. That's probably what it is. The margins don't match up on the sheet work. It's just pure greed. No Elder Scrolls 6. That shit ain't coming out anytime soon. Other news. 30, what the fuck? Yeah. Wasn't that a 30% profit? Microsoft. I could have swore that was an article. Yeah, it was like late last year. Yeah, Microsoft pushes Xbox's division to hit higher profit margins. Management goal for 30% profit margins for gaming has led to job losses. So yeah, they told everybody internally who works under Xbox, you need to be making 30% or more. Like anybody knows anything about business, like that's just not a sustainable business model in the long term. If you hit 30%, like that's a good year. You hit 30, 40, 50%, you had a great year. But anybody who knows anything about business, you know that shit is a roller coaster. If you're having a high, most likely what's coming next is what? A low. But for some reason, these motherfuckers think no, stupid. If the roller coaster's going up, that bitch eventually gonna go, woo! The roller coaster can't keep going up. That's just not how life works, bruh. So your best bet is to try to stop that fall from being too crazy, you know? So you can maintain those profits and then try to get another one. These companies are still pushing for it. They're going to eat themselves. They are going to eat themselves. That's the first lesson they teach in business. So you have to define what's success for you and be reasonable about that shit. But they're just completely unreasonable. It is what it is. Nah, I ain't know that. They are so delusional. Yep, that article came out. I was like, I remember I covered that last year. It was like late last year. If you're fans of Starkiller, the voice of Starkiller wants him back. I would shave my head in an instant. Maul actor Sam Witwer is ready to return to the Force Unleashed. Sam Witwer has returned as the dangerously compelling Darth Maul in Star Wars Shadow Lord, set shortly after the Revenge of the Sith. Maul is eager to rebuild his... Yeah, we know. Watch the show if you haven't already. Growing up a fan of Star Wars pre-Disney meant that when creator George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney in 2015, there was a period of mourning over the decanonization of certain stories in the galaxy far, far away. One such story was that of Starkiller. I remember when that was a great ending, and that shit was canon. Starkiller introduced in The Force Unleashed and returning to Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Yeah, we know. Come on, man. Let's talk about the actual story. Alongside Darth Raven, Starkiller is easily one of the Legends characters that fans have long wanted to bring back into the canon. They almost got their wish back with Star Wars Rebels aired, with Starkiller planned to be introduced as one of Vader's Inquisitors, Force-sensitive killers trained to hunt Jedi. That plan ultimately fell through, though. However, when Polygon asked whether Witwer would return to the character if Lucasfilm asked, the answer was a resounding yes. I would shave my head in an instant. Very happy to do so, he told Polygon. I love that character, and he really is the reason I'm here. As for who would win in a fight between his two characters, Maul versus Starkiller, that's a joke. Starkiller will wash Maul. Witwer clarified who he thought the overall champion would be. If they fought, I'm very clear that the winner would be me. I see what you did there. Shout out to you. I see what you did there. Yo, shout out to Singers with the super chat. Appreciate you. I appreciate the words too. Doesn't mean it's coming, but at least he's voicing and letting it be known. Like, hey, I would love to play this character. Come on, Disney. You know what's fascinating about Disney? Because we just covered the story about them making an extraction shooter. If you guys want to print money, why are you making an extraction shooter? Make something with Starkiller, whether it's a game, a TV show, it will boost your sales. If you put Starkiller in a Disney Plus TV show or movie, you will get a boost in subscriptions. If you put him in a game, it will get a boost in sales. Why is this not hard to understand? I understand part of the reason I think that they removed him from the canon is he was just such a broken character. Like, he was arguably the strongest character in Star Wars from the feats that he was doing in the video games, which didn't make sense. Like, he shouldn't be stronger than Vader. He shouldn't be stronger than Palpatine. He shouldn't be stronger than, like, Luke. There's certain characters he shouldn't be stronger. He was just too OP. That's okay. The way we figure this out is we just reintroduce him into something else and dial it back. Put him a tier right below Vader. Jesus Christ, man. Just make him a little weaker, but he can still be a boss in a game or something. He can still be a badass. Starkiller was going crazy. He was going fucking crazy. Yeah, they had some Dragon Ball Z power scaling. Bring him back into the canon, and if you feel like you have to scale his power back to make it work, that's fine. I think most people would not care as long as he's still doing cool shit. There was a rumor that at one point Vader was gonna dog walk him in the third game. Oh, like kill him off. Can literally rewrite his story into anything and connect it. It would print money. Yeah, I was hoping that he was gonna appear in Jedi Survivor. Remember when they first announced it and Kyle Kestis was in some cave, like looking at some body that was on ice? It turned out to be somebody from the High Guard, or the whatever era, that old ass era of Star Wars. But I was hoping it was fucking Starkiller, bro. That shit would have been great. The High Republic, yeah. But not High Guard. The High Republic, not High Guard. Oh shit. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping Starkiller would appear in the game, but I was like, damn, we ain't get him, man. We ain't fucking get him. Maybe they'll put him in the third game. Come on, man. Why did you mention that game? Too soon? Too soon? Old Republic, High Republic, one of them bitches, bro. I don't know. Some Star Wars nerd shit. Come on, man. Everybody wants it. You guys would print money. Bring them back. Jesus Christ. Amazon Luna's cloud gaming service is ending support for game purchases and subscriptions from third-party stores, and users will lose streaming access to purchases from third-party games in June. That's right, guys. All 5 people who use the Amazon Luna streaming service, if you purchased your games from a store that wasn't Amazon, you will be losing access to those games. The only reason I'm bringing this story up is this is an example of why game preservation is important. This platform fucking sucks, first of all. I don't know anybody who uses it. But if you do, you're about to lose your fucking catalog. This is why I will not get into no fucking, Stadia 2.0. As part of its 14,000 layoffs in October 2025, Amazon made major cuts to its gaming division, claiming that it was shifting its strategy away from the ill-advised attempts at competing with Steam through mismanaged AAA projects and focusing instead on its looted cloud gaming service. Does anybody in the chat use this? Despite that supposed refocusing, Luna just got smaller. As of today, Luna will no longer allow users to purchase games from third-party game stores like EA, Ubisoft, and GOG. The service is also discontinuing its sale of Ubisoft Plus and Jackbox game subscriptions. Previously purchased third-party games will be streamable for Luna users until June 10th, 2026, at which point they will be removed from the service. In its customer service page explaining the changes, Amazon said the removal of third-party games from Luna was informed by cleared feedback from players who want easy access to great games, more social experiences, and a steady flow of new content from developers you know and love. So it's cutting streaming access for users who've already purchased those. All right. This is why I will never ride for a fucking corporation, man. So the feedback from players was they wanted easier access to games and more options. You said, all right, bet. So we're going to kill all the access. We're going to kill off all competition, which gives easier access. Because what's easier? Buying everything from Amazon or being able to buy it from Amazon, EA, Ubisoft, GOG, and everything in between? If there's more options, it makes it easier to buy, especially if there's like sales between. What the fuck are they talking about, bro? Just pack this service up. This shit sucks, nigga. This is why game president, because imagine if the Amazon Luna had some type of exclusive, right? A game, it could be your favorite game of all time. Imagine Ocarina of Time released exclusively for the Amazon Luna, and you bought the Ubisoft version, the GOG version. You love this game. You beat it 10 times. You about to lose access to it in June. And that's the only reason I'm bringing this story up, just in case anybody in the chat used this dumbass service. You're probably about to lose access to a lot of your games. High guard mobile, which is unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. I said a few streams ago, Amazon needs to get out of the gaming business. You guys are awful. Every studio that you guys have produced, all your games fucking stink. The closest success you've had was that MMO, and even still, that game wasn't what it needed to be. Your platform, your streaming platform, fucking sucks. Which I don't even know how this even happened that it sucks, because you guys own like 80% of the servers on the internet. Amazon Web Services, y'all know like 90% of the internet runs on that shit. These niggas have the most powerful servers on the web, and somehow their streaming service is still. Get this shit the fuck out my face. Jeff Bezos bald-headed ass nigga, get the fuck out of here. David Crombie, where my T-Dot monsters at? King of the Dot, where my Toronto goons at? Wallahi. 81 shots on your block, no Kobe. Real nigga like water, you can't hold me. Where y'all at, man? Where the Wallahi gang at? Y'all get in the court in the fucking NBA to run, man. David Crombie Park. I never heard of this place. Apparently it's downtown Toronto. Who playing that shit? The city lights glow beneath the tower in the distance. The mural decorated court is surrounded by the closed-in urban neighborhood that shifts into the grittier gear after dark. Grittier and Toronto are two words that should never be used together. Look at this shit, bro. Who be hooping over here, man? Who be hooping over here? Agent Zero. Oh, this is where he used to hoop? Haven't been on the stream in a minute, mostly on the highlights, but what's the story of the streamer mansion? It was a TV show I was on. It can only be watched on Netflix Ireland and Netflix UK for like licensing issues. You'd have to use a VPN. That's why I don't talk about that shit. It was just a TV show I was on a couple years ago. Sounds like some shit Drake would say. Yeah, Drake advocated for this shit. Can we get some fucking gameplay? Did they do any other announcements today? Yes, there's a humidifier in the background for the millionth time. Anything else? No, that's all from yesterday. And then last but not least, there's a rumor floating around that the PC version of GTA 6 is expected to launch in February of 2027, which would be a few months after the console version launches in the fall of 2026, if y'all believe it's coming out this year. and the source would be Detective Seeds, who I'm not familiar with. Gaming news and updates. I don't know. I would take this with a grain of salt, y'all. He has an AI avatar. Matter of fact, I would take this with a huge grain of salt, because not only does he have an AI avatar, he didn't even look at the image, bruh. This image is fucking terrible. You said no way. I don't even care about GTA 6 at any point of it. Yeah, I would take this. I would take this as about as serious as the Trust Me Bro at GameStop. Whole bag of salt, matter of fact. Assault Boulder. Is there anything in the sub box? Hold on, let me change my account. Let's go to the. You know, it's funny you saying earlier that you mainly watch on Hokage highlights. The momentum on that channel really slowed down, but for some reason the streaming channel passed fucking Hokage highlights. Like I think at the beginning of the year Hokage highlights was at like 34,000 subs, and the stream channel was at like 30,000. It's at 40,000 now. Hokage highlights is at like 38,000. I don't know how the fuck it passed it, but whatever. I'm not complaining. What's this? Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Uncharted 5. All right, what we got here? Shout out to Watts. Boom, boom. I like it because I can watch the whole stream if I miss it. True. Shaquille? What the hell is this? Pixel Gun 2. Oh, shit. Fast Penguin. People tired of the Twitch ads? Well, that has nothing to. What would Twitch ads have to do with Hokage highlights and HQ? I was talking about 2 YouTube channels. I don't think there's gonna be a lot here. Fight Life Vanguard. Last Flag official launch trailer. Somebody link that. Wonderfall official reveal trailer. Opus Prism. Akuma's Blood Rain. What the hell is this? Got some big titty anime shit. Honor of Kings World Alpha Test announcement. What you been playing lately? Invincible. You watching on YouTube? You click the video. I know you. I know it says Invincible on the thumbnail and the title. I think this is all for yesterday. Comics is, yeah, I seen Comics Explain got some allegations on him. I saw something about he loved MAGA comics. So what the hell are MAGA comics? I didn't watch the video though. All right, let's look at this shit. Shout out to Hunter DP with the sub. Appreciate it.
Strategy, super speed.
What's wrong with Comics Explains? He's got coon allegations.
Wit, speed, precision.
Yeah, we're not playing this.
Infinite outthinking. Be special.
All right, pass. Pixel Gun 2
has been the same since the Pixel Storm came. Now, this calamity rages through the multiverse.
What in the Minecraft?
Of reality fragile. Now, it's
Fight Life Vanguard. Any interest in Replace next week? Nigga, you know what come out next week? This nigga said, are we playing Replace? You know what come out next week? Ain't nobody playing that shit. Except for Watts. Watts can talk about it on the podcast. I'll be on Pragmata. Hold up. Fight Life Vanguard. No thanks. No thanks. It was people noticing he doesn't talk about black comic book heroes as much as regular comic book heroes. Well, to be fair, no, it wasn't that. It's what he said. You don't have to cover black comic book characters. It's what he said when they asked him, because it was Black History Month. You got to understand the context. It was Black History Month, and people were like, hey, could you cover some milestone characters? And he said, no, I don't cover Black comic books. I don't want to be the political mouthpiece for Black people. And he said, I don't read those FUBU books. That was the issue. Reading Black comic book characters doesn't mean it's political, because when you read the white ones, that's not political, unless the storyline actually is. But associating, I'm not gonna lie, that's a dog whistle for being racist, or like a self-hating coon in his case. When you associate Black skin with being political, that is literally a right-wing talking point. There's nothing political about being Black unless you're a fucking racist. So that's self-hating coon shit. And then him calling it FUBU books, it's the way he said it. Because if he would have said milestone books are FUBU books, they're forced bias, I love that shit, that's fine. But when you say I don't read that shit, that's FUBU books. All right, you're a fucking coon. So like, get the context correct. It wasn't because he didn't want to read the Black books. It's what he said afterwards. That's what matters. They're like, yeah, we're side-eyeing that shit. I don't know about that. And it's disappointing because the comic book community is not that big. He's the biggest person in the space, and he's a Black person, I think. And that's how he speaks about himself. And then also he got exposed because he follows 2 known racist people on Twitter. So it is what it is, man. He not beating them allegations, dog. Let's see.
Coming to you live and in Dino color, it's
Got a hero shooter. Excuse me. Yeah, FD Signifier covered it. Not gonna lie, this doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad, but it's not really moving me either.
Red team is barely breaking a sweat here.
I didn't know. I don't watch him. That's funny. He said, so that's why he's covering Black comics the last 2 weeks. He's trying to cover his ass and save face. I didn't know he was. Probably, yeah. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna side eye you too. Like, you can say, I don't think it's a coon. I wouldn't call you a coon if you said you're not a fan of Milestone, right? But I am going to side eye you if you're a Black person and you're not a fan of any Black character. You don't like Miles, you don't like Black Panther, you don't like Static, you don't like Icon. Okay.
Team has got what it takes.
Because I would say most people are not Milestone fans. Most of you niggas are Static fans. There's a difference. But to say you don't like any of those characters.
Hang on for the win.
Yeah, like, this game looks okay. It's too many games, man.
You could hear the bones break from up in the booth. That one will be felt for weeks.
Nah, I'm cool. Why is this playing on my shit? What the fuck did you link? Carl Urban wants to star in a film adaptation of Red Dead Redemption. I mean, come on, John Marston. I'd love to play that character. This is all a bunch of yapping. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Now, I'd be more interested if a Red Dead Redemption movie was announced. You know, he's throwing his hat in there. But if there's no works on the movie, you know. You don't like Captain Durag? Nah, I'm good off that. Captain Durag. His accent's too thick. I mean, accent doesn't mean anything. What was I about to say? What's the name's Australian? The dude who plays Wolverine. Idris Elba is British. His accent never comes up in the characters that he plays. If you're a good actor, they're gonna be able to do the accents. The dude from what's the show y'all love? The Crack Show. Snowfall. He's British. I don't know if y'all niggas know that he's British. Them British actors are very good. They know how to play niggas, bro. But Tom Holland's British too. British actors are very good. That's one thing I'll give y'all. Y'all don't brush y'all teeth, but y'all some good actors. I'll give y'all that much. And I think it's because they take acting more seriously over there. Yo, shout out to Monkey King Ghost with the sub. Appreciate it. Shout out to all the bros, man. Shout out to all the bros. Wonderfall official extended reveal trailer. Sorry, they're looking a little Full Sail.
Legends speak of two laws that shape the world. One born of man to build, to dominate, to consume. One born of nature, waiting in silence.
Okay. Shout out to Slim Chill with the sub. Appreciate it. Full Sail final exam game. Yeah. Very deep, very introspective. Next thing you know, they're gonna say Spawn is too political. Yeah, I'm good off this. Yeah, that's fucking funny. Akuma's Blood Rain. This don't got nothing to do with Street Fighter. This looks like a cracked out Doom game. We're good off that. Honor of Kings official alpha test.
Starting from Jisha, you will embark on a path of your own. Students here are driven by a passion for knowledge, as boundless as the starry sky.
Right.
Different schools and societies only mean different paths.
The graphics look alright.
Your heart.
I'm gonna assume this is an MMO.
Takes you to the truth. Welcome to Jisha Academy.
Jisha Academy. Bad bitches at Jisha Academy. Okay, an action MMO. Damn, that's all the gameplay we gonna get? It looks like it has potential. I wish they would have showed more gameplay though, man. Bring back MMOs. MMOs that are free to play with like microtransactions for like cosmetics and stuff, but not MMOs with like monthly fees. No, thank you, man.